Hello, and welcome to the We Recommend Podcast, a movie podcast where every week we recommend a movie for you to watch and then come back here and listen to us discuss. I'm Jesse.
I'm Jason.
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
Yeah.
Because this week we recommend The Other Guys.
Have you ever come across a wild peacock at like a zoo?
Yes.
You know, sometimes they let them walk around.
Yeah.
They're kind of scary.
Well, we used to have them all the time around. Like people just had them out in the country. Now you can't have them because there's too many houses and too many people.
Too many peacocks.
There's too many peacocks in this building. So The Other Guys, one of my favorite comedies.
So good.
You like it? You love it?
I loved it.
I mean, it's just, there's so many kind of iconic parts. The peacock, the Dwayne, The Rock, and Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Aim for the bushes.
Aim for the bushes.
The captain being at Bed Bath & Beyond and
Yes.
constantly doing TLC references.
Man, oh, he's the best.
Desk Pop.
That's the wooden gun.
Dirty Mike and the Boys.
Yes, Dirty Mike and the Boys. I feel like that is this movie's greatest accomplishment.
This is like a movie for some reason I'd like watch at the beginning of the year a lot. I don't know why. I guess I just like, hey, I want that pick me up, but also I want at the end to realize that greed is real and it comes in.
It's Christmas.
Everybody greedy wins.
Yeah, I had never watched the post-credit stuff before.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
You never watched like the financial
all the stuff about the bailouts?
Yeah.
God damn. It was fun.
Yeah.
But also terrifying.
Sucks, right? Have you seen The Big Short? That's his next movie.
I don't think so.
Oh, you should watch it. It's a great movie that makes you feel like shit.
Oh, nice.
It's so funny. I remember me and Natalie watched that, and then we had to go to the store afterwards, and we're like, fuck everything. I hate everything. It hurts. It hurts.
That's wonderful.
Man, Mark Wahlberg, right? Probably if you just think about Mark Wahlberg, you think, oh, he's like the shorter actor that always plays a tough guy, usually like overly aggressive. No way, he's probably like a funny guy.
Like a little Matt Damon.
Yeah. But turns out the guy has some freaking comedy acting chops. Because I read that they were worried Mark Wahlberg was not going to be good at the improv because a lot of Adam McKay movies are improv.
Oh.
Like most of the dialogue is improv in his movies. And they just keep rolling until they finally, I think we got enough funny stuff. And they were worried that Mark Wahlberg wouldn't be good at it. And turns out he was really good.
Do you think it was because he was with Will Ferrell?
I think that helps. I think if you're with one of the funniest, just like everybody in the movies, Steve Coogan, hilarious. Rob Riggle, whichever Wayne's brother that is. Which one is it? Is it Damon?
It's one of them.
I don't know any of their names or their faces. Damon Wayans Jr. Yeah. They're just all so funny. Rob Riggle, like he plays Martin. He's the guy that hangs out with Damon Wayans in the movie.
Yeah, he's
always so good in everything. And he's Step Brothers.
Yeah, he's almost always like the funny asshole.
Yeah, the funny yelling guy. Yeah, and he crushes it every time.
His face is just like he's got this snivelly sneer face that just like
it's like
I want to be mad at you, but you're adorable.
I know you beat people up in your spare time,
but it's hilarious.
Yeah,
I can watch you beat people up.
I think truthfully the biggest laughs are Mark Wahlberg. Get ready, it's a whole podcast of me doing Mark Wahlberg. Apparently, Mark Wahlberg and oh my gosh, am I just gonna blank on everybody? Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton is so funny. Quit shaking your dicks. Pissing contest's over. He's at the Bed Bath & Beyond. It's like, yeah, there's a sale on this and there's an uptick on rapists.
I know. Oh, wait, that's my other job.
That's my other job. Oh, dude, in the freaking whisper fight at the funeral. Everybody stop it right now. Oh, it's just banger after banger. It's just like some of the, I don't know. It's probably my favorite. I don't know. I probably like this movie more than Anchorman.
Yeah.
It might be because I've seen Anchorman so many times. I don't find it funny anymore.
Yeah. I totally forgot about the opening scene of this movie.
It's so wild.
Everybody has machine guns.
Yeah.
For £1/4 a week.
And they use a bus to throw a car.
Oh, that's
It's like,
so good.
you know what? We used to make things in this country. It's thanks. It's all because of you, greedy corporations, that we don't get movies like this anymore. For real, though. For real. Because you took Adam McKay from us. All he does is political comedies now.
What a jerk.
Because he did. Well, let's just go into Adam McKay a little bit. Let's check out his track record.
Oh no.
So he started directing some stuff in Saturday Night Live, and then he did Anchorman, and then Talladega Nights, and then he did a lot of the what was it? They're like Comedy Central things, Funny or Die,
Oh,
like the landlord stuff, where like the little kid,
with the beer can.
yeah, and like the little girl, it's so funny. Step Brothers, he directed some. I think he produced Eastbound and Down.
No shit.
Then he did the other guys.
That show is so good.
Yeah, I know. It's we watched it a couple years ago. Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues.
There's a.
It's fun.
Okay.
It's too long. It's
All
fun.
right.
The Big Short. He executive produced Succession. Then he did Vice, which is where people were like, "What are we doing here?" I like Vice. I thought it was funny. I think it's because this is where he starts getting a lot of Oscar attention, and people just. Even I don't know. Some people just turn like if they don't think like your movie's good enough to be nominated for an Oscar, that's when people are like, his movies suck now, and it's like, dude, chill out. Vice was fine. We've
Not
had
every
worse.
movie has to win an Oscar.
We had worse Oscar like nominees. I mean, it doesn't
Oh,
matter.
yeah.
Whatever was gonna get nominated for in place of Vice or Don't Look Up was never gonna win anyways. So why are we so upset?
Don't Look Up was pretty cool.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's probably like one of my least favorite of his films, but yeah, when I like all your movies, it's kind of easy. I actually think Anchorman might be my least favorite. Anchorman 2 might be my least favorite of his movies.
And then Anchorman, and then. and then the
Yeah.
rest.
Well, no, I think Anchorman's probably like, I don't know. I like
It's
the
so
other guys
fucking
better.
ridiculous.
Step Brothers better. I like
It's
Talladega
so
Nights
good.
better.
I mean, they're
It's
funny.
like my fourth favorite.
God, they're funny as hell. It's like when people used to get away with making movies like, just bad comedy movies that everyone just had to love.
Yeah, everybody loves it.
You
It's
can't.
like, you ever watch Meatballs?
Yeah, horrible.
Yeah. I remember going back and watching all these like great comedies like you hear like adults talking about, and they always come on like Comedy Central, and then you watch them and you're like,
This is problematic.
was there comedy in this movie?
No,
Like,
it's just boys wanting to look at naked girls.
Well,
That's it.
I feel like a lot of comedies back in the day would be like, see that person? He did the tiniest little thing, and isn't that funny? Like, no, not really. But then throw Bill Murray in it and make him crack 5 jokes, and it's like, oh yeah, that's right.
Comedy gold.
yeah, it's funny.
Writes
That's-
itself.
It's the parts I remember. All right. So speaking of Anchorman, right? There was a star in this movie that wanted to be in this film because how much she loved Anchorman. So apparently,
shit.
Eva Mendes is a super fan of
No way.
Anchorman and loves Adam McKay.
Gosh,
So-
she's so plain.
Yeah, she's so plain. God, what a bland-looking girl. In an interview with the AFI, Eva Mendes was asked what her favorite movie ever was. Instead of giving a typical answer like Citizen Kane or The Bicycle Thief, Mendes said Anchorman. Apparently, she quotes it daily. So when she was offered the chance to work with Adam McKay on The Other Guys, she jumped at the opportunity. Mendes joked that for her, getting the chance to work with McKay was as exciting as most actors getting the chance to work with Martin Scorsese.
All right.
And that's great. You know what I wish they did? Gave her more to do.
Yeah.
No, I mean, she crushes everything she's in.
Yeah.
Some of the best parts, especially the grandma stuff.
I'm gonna break your hip.
Yeah. I'm going to do you grandpa style. Please stop making me say these things.
Yes. What a mom, though.
So I guess this movie came to be just from like someone suggesting something. So Adam McKay has said that The Other Guys came out about essentially by accident. He had dinner with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg and realized the two actors shared impeccable chemistry that could carry a movie. He emailed producer Kevin Messick about pairing them up in a movie and gave a buddy cop movie as a flippant suggestion for what might work. Mezek loved the idea and got McKay to work on a Ferrell/Wahlberg cop movie.
Where do you think they had that dinner? Like Dave and Buster's?
No, probably like a restaurant where it was $1,000 a entree.
Yeah.
I don't know, or Wahlburgers. I don't know. If I was be like, yeah, I gotta have a business meeting with Mark Wahlberg. I feel like, here, just meet me at this location. He shows up, it's a Wahlburgers, and be like, yeah, you didn't think you're gonna get away with it this time, did you?
Well, you mean a Whataburger?
No, Wahlburgers. He has his own chain.
He has his own restaurant?
He has his own burger chain.
Oh.
You've never heard of Wahlburgers?
No.
There's even like I think it only had Donnie Wahlberg in it, but there was I think it was on E! A reality show about Wahlburgers. Or just about the Wahlbergs. I don't know.
That's fun. I mean, you just show up and like be a server for a little while, or like a cook.
So Mark Wahlberg's like, hey, how's it going? What do you want? Oh, you want a Wahlburger? All right, say hello to your mother for me. Classic. Did you ever watch the SNL skit with Jesse Eisenberg playing Mark Wahlberg?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, you should. He's just at like a petting zoo, and he just does that. Hey, so you're a chicken. I think that's pretty cool. Then he just sits there for a second while the chicken's like, bark, bark, bark. And he says, well, say hello to your mother for me. He walks like a few steps. Oh, hey, Goat. What you doing, Goat? Well, say hello to your mother for me. It's funny.
Perfect reenactment.
I did it too long.
What other animals did he talk to?
I don't know. He did like 4 animals, and it's great every time. So apparently the script sparked a bidding war before it was even written. When Adam McKay and Will Ferrell first started pitching Talladega Nights, all they had was Will Ferrell as a NASCAR race driver.
Oh.
And it still sparked a bidding war among the studios. The pitch for the other guys was simply Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg as mismatched cops. And that similarly sparked a bidding war between the studios, the perks of being an A-lister.
Wow.
Another one, Samuel L. Jackson's role was originally written by the bald Michael Chiklis, and he's the baldest man you've ever seen.
Whoa. No,
he's from The Shield.
Oh, The Shield. Yeah, I know that guy.
I don't know. When I look at that guy, I just feel like he should like put some pants on his head.
He was born bald, and he was like, you know what? I'm fine with this.
Yeah. And similar to my Prius, the Prius in the movie, the stunt team put a racing engine in it.
Wow.
Yeah, so that it would, be able to go fast.
But don't they film? They film all of these car stuff. They film it so slow. Like,
not as much. The technology has gotten to the point where they can kind of,
when it's coming at you, you just when the train's coming at you,
it's all like rigs and stuff.
It's gonna hit us.
Yeah. Let's see. I think that might be it. Dirty Mike is played by the director Adam McKay.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Nice.
And let's see. The tuna versus lion debate was improvised. So one of the most unusual but undeniably hysterical tangents that the other guys takes is a heated conversation between Alan and Terry about who would eat whom in an animal kingdom if Alan was a tuna and Terry was a lion. According to Will Ferrell, this whole debate was ad-libbed during a long filming day. Ferrell said that most comedy directors would have cut the scene after the first couple of big laughs, but Adam McKay will keep it going to see where it goes. And in this case, it paid off.
Yeah. I'm with Will Ferrell on this one.
Yeah.
800-pound tuna.
Yeah. It would definitely kill him.
And all of his buddies.
But I mean, they could attempt to start eating it, but then they'd probably die of eating too much. So either way, the tuna
eating
wins.
the lion?
Yeah.
Get a fur ball or a pear ball.
All right, bro. Let's hop into the plot. That's all I had.
Okay. Let's aim for the bushes.
Let's aim for the bushes. Oh my God. All right, man. Let's hop into the plot, baby. The Other Guys, 2010.
Right after the 2008 stock market crash.
Yeah, which completely changed how Adam McKay makes movies. Have you seen Vice, though? You should watch it. I think you'd like it.
I'm sure I would.
It's funny, and also,
yeah,
it's about a bad guy. So, all right, The Other Guys, 2010, directed by Adam McKay, starring Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. I'm still gonna struggle. So officers P.K. Highsmith, played by Samuel L. Jackson, and Chris Danson, played by Dwayne Johnson, are the most badass cops that New York City has ever seen. Hey, hey, we're like, cops here.
Yeah, it's like if Rush Hour was real.
Yeah.
And like hugely problematic.
Yeah.
Which
do you think when cops go into being cops, they're like, damn it, I wish we could just cause mass destruction?
Yes.
Because if I became a cop, that's what I would want to do. That's why I'm not a cop.
I remember there have been a few guys that I knew before they became police officers who were so excited about being able to arrest people for
anything,
no reason.
Yeah.
I was like, you do not need to be an officer of the law.
Yeah, bro, but you got so much power. Yeah. So the movie opens with them engaged in a high-speed chase, creating a bunch of destruction of every block that they cross. They drive through a bus, use the bus to throw a car at criminals in the bank. Oh, whenever the car goes into the bus, did someone call 911? Holy shit! They do manage to capture the criminals at high speeds. However, the infraction they picked them up for was very minor charges, and they managed to do a lot of damage, like $12 million in damage for like what'd they say, a quarter pound of weed. Yeah. They're held as heroes. It goes
for about $250. Well, it used to. It's probably more now.
Yeah. Hey, worth it. They're off the. I will say, they did have machine guns, and probably, honestly,
they deserved it.
They probably eventually deserved it. They were gonna shoot up something or rob something, I guess. So back at the station, they're also greeted as heroes and treated like celebrities. There's several pairs of officers, including Martin and Fosse. That's Rob Riggle and Damian Weiss.
Yeah.
Officer Bob, who just constantly making announcements about boring stuff, and everybody just yells at him.
And nobody pays attention until,
And then you have the other guys, Alan Gamble and Terry Hoyts, played by Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. They're admired by Gamble, a by-the-numbers forensic accountant who is very straight-laced and doesn't take any risks. Gamble's partner, Terry Hoyts, disagrees, and he's grown tired of his desk job and wants to see some real hardcore action. Will Ferrell's humming. It's like, stop humming that song. Then he starts smiling. Stop smiling.
He hates so much.
And then we get the huge lion monologue and tuna.
Yeah.
And then after he like bests him in the monologue, he just spills his coffee on him.
That didn't go how you thought it was going to go, did it?
Yeah. We learn Hoyts had his gun taken away thanks to a past incident involving working security at Game 7 at the World Series where he shot Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter. Yeah.
Derek Jeter.
You should have shot A-Rod.
Yeah.
Are you a baseball fan?
No.
Yeah.
I would like to go to a MLB game.
Yeah, I like going.
I would go to a Braves game, but I have like a life to live, man. I can only give it to one sport, and that's football because it's fun to watch.
I'm only going if a star player gets shot.
Yeah, me too. So everybody because they're at like this like gun like counseling thing when he's telling it
for officers who have discharged their weapon on the line of duty,
and everybody in there just like, oh fuck him.
How does that make you feel?
They call him
like a Viagra with a face.
Yeah, they call him the Yankee Clipper. Gamble also has earned an unflattering nickname around the office, Paper Bitch.
It's kind of his fault, though.
Yeah, because he has no problem doing everybody's paperwork. And to make matters worse, Gamble is duped into a prank by fellow officers Martin and Fosse, firing his gun randomly in the air, doing a desk pop.
He just wants to be like everyone else.
He's like, really? Everybody does it? Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like at some point, other people should be getting in trouble in this police station.
Well, like I feel like he would have noticed if it was a thing. He's probably been there for a while.
It's like, what have you been doing? Just, this guy's nose in his computer. You just never notice. The captain takes Gamble's gun away and give him a wooden gun. Love it. I love the evolution of this gun.
I know. I feel like they should have given him one of those wooden guns that they can shoot rubber bands at least.
Yeah, like maybe get somebody in the eye.
Yeah.
We also learned the captain has a second job at Bed Bath & Beyond because of his bisexual son.
He wants to be in college. But I do love how he does it to support his son, even though. But he seems like he really likes his Bed Bath & Beyond job.
I think that's his favorite job he has. I think it's where he just loves that. It's like, hey, it's not high stress.
It's not murder. Yeah.
And
It's
like,
just bath mats.
not everybody's an asshole because they're all like, I don't know, steroid pumping cops, I guess, because that's how they all act. So the next day, Highsmith and Danson are called into the field. This case has them chasing suspects in a jewelry store robbery. Once again, they're chasing a suspect robbing a jewelry store and up in a high rise. Whenever they get the call, so they get the call first, and then this is where you just have Mark Wahlberg going absolutely batshit because he gets so pissed. He's like, "I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly. We gotta go get this." Will Ferrell's like, "Okay." But the robber manages to escape using a zip line, and to follow him, they're planning to jump off a high rise into the bushes. Unfortunately,
there's no bushes.
They missed because there are no bushes and hit the pavement instead.
Yeah. It's like they couldn't possibly call for help or back up or nothing.
It's like there's cops all down there. Like, what are we doing? So no one really knows why they decided to jump. They're given a hero's funeral by the city of New York. Without their hottest officers, Hoyt wants him and Gamble to step up instead. Then we get to the funeral. It's so good. At the funeral, Hoyt and Gamble nearly start a brawl with some of the other detectives. I was like, "You want to go? Yeah. You want to go? Yeah, I'll go." We're just pushing each other around. And they start fighting. I was like, "Yeah, come on. It's a fight. Yeah, get up, get up." And then Michael Keaton goes up there. "Everybody stop." It's just his face that he makes when he does it. It's so funny.
He's got a hilarious face.
Oh, God, I love Michael Keaton. He's probably top 5 actor for me. I always forget he's a top 5 actor for me until I watch him in a movie and I'm like, I love this man.
Yeah, I know. You recognize him immediately.
Yeah.
Like, you love it.
Showtime. So Hoyt desperately wants a taste of action, but unfortunately, as he's paired with Gamble's obsessed with a case involving faulty scaffolding being installed at a construction site.
Somebody's got to do it.
It's like, how did he even find this case? Did somebody call it in? Did he walk past the street and see it? Like, what is this? But then they get a call about shots being fired and cocaine at the scene. Hoyt forces Gamble out of the office to take to the case by putting a gun to his neck. They're walking out. It's like, he's got a gun to me. I'm in a police station, and nobody cares that he's got a gun pointed at my head.
I think that's just how it is.
That's just how it is.
All the time.
In the worst New York police station, yes. I don't know what precinct this is, but it needs to be shut down or...
It's just Michael Keaton just doesn't have the reins on him like he should.
And that's what he can't like keep his officers in check, but he can at Bed Bath & Beyond, so it's like, that's why he likes it more.
It's so much easier.
Yeah. As they finally get some field work, Hoyt discovers that Gamble is even lamer than he originally thought because of his cheesy listening music.
At his Prius.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm riding in a vagina.
Yeah. I have a Prius. They're great vehicles. The first taste of action ends incredibly poorly when Gamble floors the accelerator on his red Porsche Prius and crashes into the crime scene. America!
He runs over the corpse.
Hoyt, did you scream America while doing that? It's like, I did.
No, it's like, no.
I've never felt more alive. Aroused. I think he says aroused.
It's a little aroused.
Yeah. We are then introduced to billionaire investor David Ershon, played by Steve Coogan, one of the funniest people you never remember. At the Center for... they meet him at the Center for American Capitalism.
Yes.
What convention is this? Hey, let's talk about being rich and getting richer and screwing everybody else.
Yeah, we don't know about these things.
He has a quote, "Live for excess. It's the American way."
It's the American way, baby. Don't stop profiting.
Yeah, no matter how many people, it hurts. Hey,
Ouch.
Should we up the prices on groceries and nobody can stop us? Sure, why not?
Yeah.
As in, I bought $130 worth of groceries and only bought like 15 items.
Nice.
That really fucking
Hell
pisses me
dude.
off. Damn it, Biden.
Did you get some crackers? Maybe some soup.
Yeah. A tomato. So Ershon is being pressured because he owes money to a woman. And like the whole company, essentially.
To the Lendl Global.
Lendl Global, that's it. Man, I thought I put that in my notes, but I did not. He's being followed until he pays. He gets away, though, by tricking the people. Hoyt is still demeaning Gamble about everything he does because everything he does isn't manly enough.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Feel bad for him.
I know. Gamble wants to go after Urshan. He convinces Hoyt by hitting him with a wooden gun. It's like, I'll use this. He's like, what are you going to do with that? And just like hits him right in the nose. Like, oh, so good.
But it's solid, man. That would hurt.
Yeah, it would. That thing looks heavy. They then meet Urshan at the convention. Gamble arrests Urshan, but fails to read his Miranda rights perfectly.
I've never Miranda'd anyone before.
He's like so bummed out. He wanted to Miranda rights him, but Hoyt messed it up.
Yeah, I loved it though. He was like, "You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do can be used. He's like, used as a flotation device."
So good.
He's like, "Okay,
Yeah.
you got me."
So while transporting Urshan back to the station, Gamble has an accident with some very suspicious people who then steal Gamble's Prius and kidnap Urshan. The female kidnapper makes eyes at Gamble and they steal their shoes.
That is one of the funniest gags.
Yeah. The fact that hot girls love him or the shoes thing, because they're both equally funny in my opinion.
The hot girl thing is what I was like.
Especially the second time, they're like, they stole our shoes again. It's like, why do they keep stealing your shoes?
Well, I mean, like growing up, that's what they used to tell us that kidnappers would do to children to keep them from running away.
Keep them from running.
But as awful as that is, it's
them,
hilarious for what happens to adults.
Well, if you don't think about it in that sense, it's very funny.
When they get back, their feet are all bloody and shit.
What is it? Rob Riggle is like, where'd y'all come from? The Shire? Or it's like, or what did he call them? Hobbits or Bilbo Baggins or whatever?
Yeah.
Something like that. So Gamble and Hoyt decide that they need a fresh start while wandering the streets of New York City. Maybe we should call each other the Febreze brothers because we are so fresh. It's like, do we need another fresh start? Should we do one more?
Yeah. Last one.
It's like, I just keep thinking about hitting you right in the face. Back at the station, they have a new case, and that's to find out who kidnapped Urshan. They get called into the captain's office, and we learn that Roger Weasley, the guy that was the main guy that's kidnapping and was like supposed to follow
the Australian guy,
Urshan, is played by Ray Stevenson, I believe is his name. He played Punisher once.
He's so tall.
Punisher Warzone, a very fun, wacky dude movie.
Never even heard of that.
Yeah,
one.
It's bad, but also amazing. So it's kind of got both things going for it. They get called into the captain's office and learn that Roger Weasley is one who stole their Prius and Urshan. They say that they thought Hoyt and Gamble were kidnapping.
Because Urshan's like, please don't let these men take me.
Yeah, it's like, what?
You don't even see them stealing their shoes. They're just gone.
They're just gone. And they're saying like, oh, we didn't know you're officers and we just thought you were kidnapping Urshan. And so that's why we did what we did. And then after Roger Wesley leaves, they like, all right, they brought back your shoes. They also brought back your gun, Gamble. Your guns. It's like they even actually put a nice stain on it.
Yeah, they put seed
like
oil
leek
on
wood,
it.
seed oil. Yeah, it's
made it look beautiful,
dude. It's like, who comes up with that shit? Like, was it just like Adam McKay just be like, hey, it actually just afterthought on the day is like, hey, let's actually put some stain on that. It'd be funny if they like stained it. Or it's like, is that something you think of while writing the script?
Well,
if there is a script,
it's like maybe if whoever's if anybody's a woodworker and they're like, man, we could spruce this up a little bit.
Yeah, let's actually just do it and then kind of surprise. Or like they just like threw it in there as like a surprise.
You should think about writing him a thank you letter.
Yeah.
Linseed oil.
Yeah, linseed oil. Yeah. So Gamble invites Hoyt over to talk the case. He apologizes about his wife who acts like a bitch and is a big old broad and likes to flaunt it. He pre-apologizes for it. Shit. She's a big old broad and likes to flaunt it. It's so funny. So Hoyt goes over to Gamble's house where he learns more about Gamble, including the fact that Gamble has a supermodel wife named Sheila, played by Eva Mendes. She's also
She's got a PhD.
Well-respected doctor. And he like gets so mad. He's like, she's like, can you give me a kiss? And he's like, no. It's like, okay.
Not here.
Not here.
You look like a hobo.
You look like a hobo. It's like, go change. I already did. Mark Wahlberg the whole time. No, she looks
Seriously,
beautiful.
who is that?
She looks pretty. Seriously, who is she? He can't believe how hot she is. Then they get a call that they learn who stole the Prius. And like,
and ruin the name Mike forever.
Wait, before they're like leaving, and as they're leaving, Mark Wahlberg just keeps trying to hug Sheila, and like they're saying bye. And he's
kiss
like,
her on the neck. And
bye,
stuff.
Sheila. Gamble. Bye, Terry. Bye, Sheila. Terry, bye.
Yeah, I don't think you heard me. Bye.
Yeah, it's just like keeps going. But Gamble then learns who stole the Prius, and it turns out that it was stolen by some homeless people. And they had an orgy in the back seat, and a raccoon took a shit in it.
Well, no, a mama raccoon had babies in it.
Had babies in it. Yeah. And then they found like a condom and a dead rat.
The baby mouse.
Yeah. And they also found Gamble's lost iPhone. The group of homeless people is known as Dirty Mike and the Boys.
Yeah.
And they left a note. Thanks for the F Shack. Oh, it's so good.
Dirty Mike and the Boys.
Yes. It's like, what? Why?
Making a name for ourselves around town.
I'm going to make a name for myself.
Yeah.
So
there's other ways to do it. But
yeah.
I feel like he's
hey, they're having their best life.
They're successful, man.
Yeah. So Gamble and Hoyt then go to interview the next witness, who also happens to be former ex-girlfriend of Gamble's, another unbelievably attractive girl. However, she is married, and Hoyt manages to offend the woman by mispronouncing her name. It's Christina, not Christina. You come into my house, you disrespect my wife.
I love it. As soon as they opened the door, she called Mark Wahlberg's like, "Hey, I'm Terry." She's like, "Oh, hey, Telly." Yeah, I completely missed his
name. And she's super crazy, and they're like her and her husband. This husband, I forgot the actor's name, but he's always so funny.
He's really funny. He's so good at that awkward comedy.
Awkward,
too.
And it's just like you don't trust him.
No,
you immediately think this guy's a piece of shit, and I don't care what you say.
I loved it though. Whenever they had to go have a word in the kitchen, and he's like
laying on the couch.
You think I'm all covered in hair, but I'm not.
I'm not
completely
shaved. And he's like, "Y'all got the information? You got that phone yet?" While Christina is slamming him, like hitting the other. You piece of shit! I love you.
Say it. You love me.
He like pushes her away, grabs the iPhone, runs out. You come back here and make love to my wife.
Yeah. And then they're in the car talking about it.
It's like it's like hours after, and they're like probably as far as they can be.
20 miles.
Yeah. How do you get back
and
here?
They're both coming. You think it's just him.
Yeah.
And then she's
right behind in her dress, like high heels, running after him.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. It's like at the beginning of this podcast, I'm like, oh, this scene. And then I completely forgot. This is one of the funniest scenes in the movie. There's so much good stuff. So Hoyt really wants to know what Gamble's deal is with hot ladies. While sitting in the Prius, they listen to the voicemail from Urshan. Turns out he was actually kidnapped and needs to repay $34 billion. And they also get like his address from it. And then, like you said, Christina and husband. Also, Christina, kind of a crazy name, right?
Christina.
It's like, yeah, everybody would mispronounce that. It's Christina. So later that night, while at a local bar, singing about their woes.
Oh, God, that's hilarious.
Like sailors.
It's like old Scottish dirges or something, but they're singing about Harry Potter.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's got a lot of history. Because that is something that happens in like Irish bars. People will just get up and
sing their hearts out, sing their sea shanties.
Yeah, like, I would love that.
Yeah,
but like this is a little different.
Yeah,
it was
singing about Harry Potter.
He came back to find his wife home with 5 British soldiers, and it was all consensual. It reminds me of the story of Roy. I think it's Roy Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that movie?
No, Liam Neeson plays him, right?
Yeah, it's fucking crap, but not the same. It's not the same thing. She actually gets like brutally assaulted by British soldiers, and she has a son, and she comes back, and she's like, "This happened. I had a son." He's like, "We'll call him William."
Okay, William Rogers. All right, well,
he was totally cool about it.
Yeah, like, oh, that's fine. Shoot, it's the 1800s or whatever. 1700s.
That's a badass movie. It's old, but it's.
Is that where it's like a lot of sword fighting?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a duel at the end.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I've always heard I think it got like nominated. I think Liam Neeson got nominated for that movie, something like that. It's like one of his like first really big, like well recognized roles.
Yeah,
I
he had
think.
to hide. It's like he had to hide in the what's the thing from Star Wars where he had they hid the you think it smells bad on the outside.
Yeah.
But he had to hide inside of a dead cow to get away from British soldiers.
Fuck, should we do this movie soon?
I think so.
We're going to have to figure out if it's on anything. We'll have to do it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So Gamble and Hoyt discovers that Urshan is up to something involving the state lottery and some suspicious activity. Hoyt then goes to meet his girlfriend, a dance instructor, who turns out he has some issues with. You shouldn't be in here at a strip club shaking it for dollar bills. When he walks in, she's dancing like, hey, get off of her. Unfortunately, though, Gamble awkwardly shows up and makes things worse than they were.
I'm not sure he did make it worse.
Yeah,
it was already
so bad.
pretty bad.
There's a point at the end of the conversation. You're not making things any better.
Yeah, you're kind of making it worse.
Yeah. Hoyt then proved that he can dance like her and isn't only into police business. Does a perfect ballet.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, okay. And then he like storms off.
The explanation is the best.
Will Ferrell, I think we all experienced our own ballet today. A ballet of feelings. It's like, all right, go away. You're not making things any better. Then Gamble brings out how well Hoyt dances. This is the quote, Gamble. Hey, I didn't know you could dance, Terry. We used to do those dance movies to make fun of the guys when we were kids to show them how queer they were. Okay? Gamble, you learned to dance like that sarcastically? Hoyt, yeah, I guess.
That's awesome.
It feels like something that'd be in Napoleon Dynamite. It's so good. And like there's something else towards the end that's like the same way.
Oh, all right.
The next day, driving into the city, Gamble and Hoyt have an incredibly awkward moment because Gamble gives him a gift. It's an FBI mug. A female body inspector.
He throws it up.
He's like, do you not get it? Like at first you see, and it looks like an actual mug for FBI. Then you're like, oh, well, hold on a second. Does that say female body inspector? That's my favorite Will Ferrell. It's like just the best when he's just like, just playing dumb and like innocent. It's so good.
That's outrageous.
Yeah. And then they get into another fight and Gamble plays some of more of his favorite music, the Little River Band.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
All right.
So they go to the next stop on their list, another accounting firm, which ends in the storefront. They're going to Exploding. And this is when we talked about last week when Man on Fire, when he walks away from an explosion. I'm like, hell yes, we need to do the other guys now.
There would have been like a big shockwave.
Yeah. I love it because it got Gamble right after the explosion. I can't hear. There's blood blisters on my hands. Oh my God. How do you walk away in a movie without flinching when it explodes behind them? There's no way. I call bullshit on that. When they flew the Millennium Falcon outside the Death Star and was followed by the explosion, that was bullshit.
Yeah,
Hoyt,
hell yeah, it was.
Don't you dare badmouth Star Wars. That was all accurate. And then Gamble, I just want to go somewhere to breastfeed right now.
They're all shouting because their eardrums are busted.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh God. Gamble is he's tired of the explosions and the gunfights and wants to go back to his desk. Hoyt, on the other hand, disagrees and tells Gamble that life is loud and has incidents like this.
like explosions.
No, they don't. I've never had that happen except during 4th of July.
Yeah, you don't want
it. Yeah. So Gamble then reveals about his past in college. He was essentially a glorified pimp.
Yeah.
He's like, Hoyt's constantly, yeah, a pimp. That's what pimps do.
It's so funny how it came to be, how he was just trying to be like a good friend.
Yeah. And then he turns into like the worst. Apparently he made money working security for college's attractive women and was very well paid. It's like, yeah. And he attracted a huge group of women. Yeah, stable hoes.
14.
Yeah. And earned the real nickname of Gator. He decided to leave that life behind after an incident where he went to the emergency room because he had poison ivy in his butthole.
Oh, his rectum.
Yeah. And met Sheila, who he would later go on to marry, and that's why he's straight-laced as he is.
It's so funny, like their story of them meeting. He's ass up, crying, inflamed. Pimps don't cry.
Pimps don't cry. So after that, they go to meet Urshan back at his accounting firm. They confront Urshan about his penny pinching, and they don't know what he's up to with the state lottery, but they definitely suspect that he's up to something. They just can't quite put their finger on it. Gamble is obsessed with the cucumber water because when they come in, he's like, "Here, get him some iceberg cucumber water."
Yeah.
He's like, "This is really good water." It made me want it. It looks so, like the glasses, everything made it look appetizing.
And Terry's like, "No, we don't want your water." He's like,
I'm
really looking forward to it.
I was really looking forward to it. Because Urshan offers them a bribe of courtside seats at the latest Knicks game.
And then they go.
But they don't know it's a bribe. I love, like, you cut to him, it's got like Rosie Perez, Tracy Morgan at the game. And when they're there, they're like, "Wait, this doesn't feel right." Hoyt's, he bribed us and we didn't even know it.
And then they get tickets to the Jersey Boys.
Yeah, he ups the ante and offering the tickets to the musical Jersey Boys. They're there and they're like, yeah, even like Hoyt's is like super excited about it. It's like, "You guys are amazing." Yeah, Gamble sits down. "Damn it, we fell for it again." And then they go in there again. And they're like, "Not again. Not this time." And they go and he's like, whatever. Hoyt and Gamble learn that Urshan is trying to cover up some shady losses that he had to cover his tracks on some bad investments.
Oh, yeah. With everyone in the world.
Everybody in the world. And Hoyt comes up with that he's going to be bad cop and that Gamble's going to be good cop.
But he doesn't let him finish the sentence.
Yeah. And so Hoyt goes and he starts being bad cop. And then Gamble comes in and just goes way too far, throwing them everywhere, throwing all this stuff on the ground. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I love that when Urshan in the beginning, he's like, "I want to talk to you. You seem reasonable."
Yeah, I'll talk to you. It's like, no, just screaming, almost crying. So while at Urshan's office, they're confronted by some incredibly shady people in the parking lot. "Watch out, Colombian drug lords." It's like, how do you know that? How did you get that from this? Something I love about this. Every time something's popping up, Hoyt just constantly assumes it's like a huge case for no reason. Which this is, he's just not on the right track yet.
Yeah, he just doesn't realize it.
And something I love is that Hoyt is great at fighting. Even Gamble's like, "Man, do you ever think about where you'd be if you didn't shoot Derek Jeter?"
Yeah, it's incredible at Kung Fu or whatever.
Yeah. And then Hoyt and Gamble are then kidnapped and are being transported on train in Gamble's Prius. This is where they stole our shoes again.
Yeah, that fight scene was so cool.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
great.
Like he jumps back and kicks Will Ferrell out of the way from the other motorcycle that's gonna hit him.
You're like, shit, this guy's a badass.
He really shouldn't have shot Jerry Jeter.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been caged down.
Jeter.
Jared Dieter. So back at the station, the captain's boss is grilling Hoyt and Gamble about their investigation into Urshan's shady business practices. The captain has a change of heart and removes Gamble's wooden gun, but gives him a rape whistle as a replacement.
Hell yeah, man.
And I love that we actually see him use it in the movie.
Yeah. Did you ever have one?
A rape whistle?
Well,
no. I've had whistles.
What about a storm whistle?
No, I just had like a normal whistle as a kid.
Oh, but it could have been a rape whistle.
If I had it on me and that was happening,
it would have become a rape whistle.
I may have would have tried it. I don't think anybody would have responded to a whistle.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: if I hear a whistle, I'd be like, "Oh, somebody's kid's got a whistle and is just blowing it."
There's a referee on the loose.
Yeah. Oh no, the umpire from the World Series Game 7's coming after Hoyt. So the captain then orders all the evidence they have on Urshan turned over to the SEC. Hoyt brings up the peacock thing again. Captain says peacocks can't fly, so I don't get the reference. Gamble, well, they can kind of fly. Then the captain quotes TLC. Don't go chasing waterfalls. They're like, did you just quote TLC? And he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't understand the reference.
I have zero idea what's going on here. They're like, no one ever says that. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
You never say those things unless you're referencing TLC.
It's like, get out of my office. Later, Officer Bob tells them about the police pension fund and that there's a vote being held on it next week. Hoyt yells at him and hurts his feelings.
They have no time for Bob.
Poor guy.
That poor guy.
But if they listened, they would have been even closer. So much nonsense didn't have to happen if they're like, pension fund, where's it going? oh, wait, Urshan's in charge of that. Maybe that's what it's about.
I feel like there would have been a meeting.
And then we could have cut 20 minutes out of the movie.
Yeah. There's a meeting that they probably didn't get to go to.
Yeah. Meanwhile, at Gamble's house, he tells Sheila that they have been kicked off the case. He explains he's been struggling to stay straight-laced and Gator is coming back. You don't get it. There's a darkness inside of me. It wants to get out, wants to walk around. It wants to walk around money. And it wants to buy some shoes. And it wants to walk up to people and say, hey, Gator don't play no shit. You hear it? You feel me? Gator never been about that. Never been about playing no shit.
That's what she starts in on.
Yeah.
Though, you know when we met? You cried.
You
like
cried.
You had your,
I saw you. A drugged out pimp.
Ass up and flamed.
Then I went to you, and what did I do?
I fell in love.
I sang to you, Pimps Don't Cry. Pimps Don't Cry.
That's how you know it is not a pimp.
And then she's like, get out of here. That's when she drops the news. It's like, I'm pregnant. Whose baby is that? Gator's bitches better be using Jimmy's.
Oh, God. He's right, though.
Gator's bitches better be using Jimmy's.
Yeah, they better.
And then she kicks him out of the house. Dropped my phone. I was laughing too hard.
Yeah, I feel like... Yeah, good for her. You know,
for her.
But no, I love like when after the dinner, earlier in the movie when she was like, every day I tell him, don't get hurt, and these will be waiting here for you.
Yeah,
my perky firm breasts.
And he's like, you know, they may not be big enough for him, but they are perky.
They may not be the biggest he's ever seen. He's like, no, they're not.
They're not. Oh, God. So later that night, Gamble and Hoyt decided that they're both depressed about their troubles with their women and don't know what to do next. They're also confronted by Dirty Mike and the boys.
Oh,
hey,
no. Yeah,
you see that Prius? We're going to have sex in we're going to go have sex in that car. Like, are you Dirty Mike and the boys? Like, yo,
how do you know?
Run away. Oh.
If only they would have had a raccoon with them.
Yeah.
That would have been.
And I love it as they're running away. We're going to have sex in your car. We will have sex in your car again. And then after that, they decide to go on a bender to end all benders. It's fucking rad.
It was an epic night.
I love this scene. It's so cool.
Yeah, it is really cool.
It's like the way it's shot. You know, it's like still pictures and it moves, but then as it cuts.
Panoramic still frames or something.
I meant to look up how they did it.
It's cool.
I'm not prepared. And then you got, like, look.
He's firing his gun in the air at one point.
There's one point he's firing it to impress a girl while Hoyt is beating somebody up.
Yes.
And then it cuts to Hoyt shooting the gun up in the air and then Gamble biting a priest. And then Hoyt has his like police badge out, like stopping everybody while Gamble's is peeing on the pool table. Yeah. So funny. My favorite's biting the priest. And the thing is, the bartenders in like most of the shots, and every time he's just sitting there smiling at him while pouring a drink.
What a great night for a bartender.
I know. God.
We should start a bar.
Also, I love Black Eyed Peas. As lame
that's a badass song for this.
I feel like time has passed enough to where we're all like, no, Black Eyed Peas is good, right?
Yeah.
Right? Might be nostalgia.
I like the Black Eyed Peas.
I'm gonna be on the next level.
That's a badass song.
It is. It really is. And some people are 2008. Some people are 2011.
Whenever this scene came on, because I was watching this on my phone, and my kids are all like on the couches. They're all watching their things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I couldn't use the TV at the time, so I turned it up for this scene, and everybody got up and started dancing. It was awesome.
That's adorable. So Hoyt and Gamble then go to turn over the evidence. The secretary is John Ralphio from Parks and Rec.
Hell yeah, man.
I wish he got to go full John Ralphio. It's Ben Schwartz. I love Ben Schwartz. The person they are turning their evidence into happens to be Urshan's lawyer, played by David from The Office, the Dunder Mifflin like main boss or whatever.
Yeah. And like, I love how he was like, don't worry, there's not going to be any kind of problem with this.
It's
I would recuse myself.
Yeah. But it turns out he actually was going to be a good guy. He promises to seriously look at the evidence. So back at the station, Hoyt is extremely angry about the fact that they just handed over all the evidence. He smashes his own computer. I love, are you a big man? Huh? I'm talking to you. What? Hoyt says, Gamble, do you wake up in the morning and say, I'm putting on my big boy pants? Look, I'm wearing a belt. I got my big boy pants on. And then like
he goes full gator.
Yeah. And then it's like, I feel like I'm partners with the Hulk.
the Hulk.
You're always just so angry. So good. I completely fucked all that up by
it's all good
stuttering. So
we forgive you.
They don't. They're all unfollowing. They then get a call over the police banner about a possible jumper from a high rise. Gamble tells Hoyt that his previous experience about hostage negotiation. He took an online class one semester.
At the University of Phoenix?
Yeah.
Oh, woof. I took a class from them too.
Yeah? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Still don't have any job.
That went nowhere.
I made A's though. I
Yeah.
aced it.
You nailed it. But it ends poorly when Gamble gets on the PA and has extremely poor choice of words that has the jumper jumping. Jumper also happened to work for Urshan. It was the lawyer.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
They go up to his office and it's all wrecked to shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then like as they're in, it's like, oh, there's definitely like a struggle here. And then the captain comes in. It's like, get out of here. You're off the case even because you're completely off the case. And they get demoted. And then they also lost their friendship in there.
Well, yeah, they weren't partners anymore.
Yeah, they're no longer allowed to be partners.
But it's funny. It's because Terry loves being a traffic cop, and he's like doing it so well.
It's so good. It's so funny.
He even wins an award.
Yeah. So we hear a monologue from the narrator, played by Ice-T.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Ice-T.
Why
About
Ice-T?
what a man has to do to pick himself up once he gets his ass kicked. We see Hoyt's being really good at being a traffic cop, and he's like dancing while he's doing it and everything. And Gamble is still pursuing the case.
Yeah, he's actually becoming a real detective.
Yeah, because he's still obsessed about the conspiracy theory involving Urshan and the lottery. Gamble thinks that the jewelry heist that Danson and Highsmith were chasing was actually a distraction for an even bigger robbery taking place behind the scenes. He goes into the captain's office. Gator needs his gat, you punk ass bitch.
And he just gives it
to him because he's having a conversation with his kid on the phone. Saying like, I am proud of you.
Get out of my office. Yeah, fine. Take your gun. That's what I do with my kids every time they ask for candy or something.
Yeah, you just give them a gun.
Yeah, I do give them. I don't have any candy, but I got lots of guns.
So Gamble keeps investigating exactly what the thieves were doing when they took such a small amount of diamonds and escaped using a 20-story military-grade zip line. Lindell Global set up the robbery so that they could break into their accountant firm and cook the books.
I feel like you're only here for the zip line.
Yeah. I like because it was like they only stole like $47,000 in diamonds, and they're like, there's millions of dollars of diamonds. Why wouldn't they steal more than just 47,000? I'd take 40,000. Maybe they didn't. 47,000. I'd take $4,000 right now. So Hoyt and Gamble then reunite and decide that to get back on the boss's good graces, that they really need to go after Urshan. Like literally, it's the last thing you need to do.
Yeah, because they told him twice not to go after him.
More than twice, like 4 times at this point. Yeah, which is just like a play on, cops that always get kicked off the case, or like, you can't go. It's like, how many times in this movie are you going to tell them they can't do it before you fire them? So Gamble reveals that Urshan is covering his tracks by using 2 accounting firms and that he needs to be arrested for grand larceny. Hoyt tells Gamble that he's no longer interested in the case and that he enjoys working traffic. Then Gamble forces Hoyt at gunpoint that he needs his partner to be on his case. Apartment pop. Because they're like in his apartment and they like turn up music and they're like whispering. It's like,
under the bed.
It might be bugged. It's like, what are you talking about?
I know. And then they go under the bed.
Yeah.
And he's like, first off, I missed you.
I miss you. And then Hoyt, I actually kind of miss you too.
Thank you.
I love it. So sweet. So Hoyt,
that's like the buddiest thing you could do.
Yeah, I know.
Have a conversation under the bed.
Yeah, it's like you just kind of want to start like giggling a little bit. So Hoyt and Gamble then go to confront the captain while working at his alternate job at Bed Bath & Beyond. The captain is working with the second job to pay his son's obscene college tuition.
Yeah.
And then we see him there. It's the captain. We got a big day out there, big one. We got a full moon. People are going to be amped. All right, let's see.
Bath mats are in.
Let's see what we got on tips. All right. Whoa, the new bath mats are in. Excited chattering. And the captain, one more thing. We got a serial rapist in crown hats. Oh, geez, I'm sorry. That's for my other job. Ignore that. Forget that.
But
well,
like, yeah,
don't
unless you live there.
Don't ignore it.
Walking pairs.
Yeah, walking pairs. Oh, God.
Use the buddy system.
Yes. So they talk to the captain, and the captain allows them to go, but they can't make any noise because he was just trying to keep them off because he knew that there's really big people that could, hurt them if they kept pursuing the case.
But quiet as a mouse.
He wants them to do it and to make them proud. He's like, I want you to make me proud. I don't want no scrubs. They're like, wait, you did it again. It's like, that's TLC. It's like, I really have no idea what you guys are talking about. Like, I don't even know what TLC is. I don't get the joke. I don't get the reference. It's like, all right, so be quiet out there. You got to creep. It's like, no one ever says creep like that unless they're quoting TLC. It's like, guys, I still have no idea what you're talking about.
Just keep it on the down low.
So good. So Hoyt and Gamble formulate a plan to take down Urshan by confronting him at his construction company. At Urshan's company, he is having a meeting with his stockholders about the company's future. One of the investors happens to be fellow officer Bob. Poor fucking Bob. They braided earlier about the proxy vote.
They wouldn't listen to him at all.
They wouldn't listen. Hoyt has come to a revelation that they are targeting the police pension fund.
And not the lottery.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It turns out that Gamble was right with his theory that the jewelry heist that Danson and Highsmith were chasing was just a distraction for an even bigger robbery that was taking place behind the scenes involving Urshan. And then it essentially all goes wrong. Massive shootout ensues. They get in a car chase involving Urshan and Gamble.
The shootout in this office is incredible.
Yeah.
There's so many flying papers.
Yeah.
He throws up one stack of papers and it gets just like, I don't know. It's like the sky is raining paper.
It starts raining paper. Yeah,
It's
that's what happens when you throw paper up during a gunfight.
And then you shoot it.
Just more paper happens.
And then like Mark Wahlberg's like sliding backward on the conference table for some reason, shooting people. It's ridiculous.
It's wild. So after the car chase, they then take Urshan to his very small apartment. Urshan reveals
that he uses for family and prostitutes.
Not at the same time. That'd be wrong.
That would be wrong. Would it?
I guess if you're quiet. So Urshan reveals that a money transfer is going to be involved and that the pension money involved goes directly to his account and then into offshore accounts. Gamble then goes to reconcile his differences with Sheila, while Hoyt goes to reconcile his differences with his girlfriend. Hoyt says he will be there for Sheila if something happens to them.
That's so funny.
It's like, seriously, I will take care of her. All her needs and pleasures, I will take care of.
Yes. That's a good friend.
Yeah. Gamble then goes to his house and reconciles with Sheila. He calls her and they decide to use Sheila's grandma.
Why were they doing that? Who was in the house?
People were staking out his house to find him.
Oh, so he wouldn't get seen by the bad guys.
And so Sheila's grandma is going to relay information back and forth. It starts tame at first, but then they start having...
No, it doesn't. It starts off with like...
As in like the first 4 words are tame. And then they start having her say a lot of dirty stuff. She wants to unplug all the clocks and phones and have a 3-day sex marathon. I don't want to walk right for a week. Please don't make me say these things.
Yeah. But she soldiers on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the mother-in-law you need.
Yeah. And then the grandma finally decides she's done. Then Sheila walks out dressed as Gam Gam and kisses her. And then they have sex.
Yeah.
I'm about to break your hip.
Throws the walker.
Yeah.
Takes off the wig.
I'm about to do grandma style.
Goddamn.
That was great. It's great. So the next morning, it's time for the bank transfer. Gamble, of course, has the proper soundtrack, and his lame taste in easy listening music once again prevails. Gamble then shocks everyone with some high-speed driving in his Prius, but it ends badly when they get into a horrific accident.
He's like, how'd you learn to do that? Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto.
And then when the bad guy sees him doing it, he's like,
he's been playing Grand Theft Auto. Someone's been playing Grand Theft Auto. But they survived the accident thanks to Gamble's jackknifing abilities because he crashes the two.
Yeah, he hits the back wheel, makes it.
Meanwhile, some of the officers are giving a lecture to some school kids about police work and deciding to bring one of the kids along.
Man.
And then next time we see them,
gun, come here, my gun, quick.
Because they handed out like guns. And then next time we see them driving with a kid in the back, it's just like flying in the back.
No seatbelt.
Yeah. During chase, suddenly a helicopter starts shooting at the Prius.
They're like, oh, a helicopter, that's cool.
Yeah, and they lose them. They're followed by a huge flock of police cars, but manage to escape by hiding in a double level parking lot. Ershon is then pursued by another group of shady people. The chase ends with them on a golf course driving range, and they manage to destroy the helicopter by having the golfers hit the helicopter.
Because they just hit anything that's out there. Yeah. Apparently.
That's what you do. Like when the golf cart goes out there to get the balls, that's what you do. You're supposed to hit them.
But the idea that they would be
he says he's a cop.
At a helicopter.
He's like, hey, I'm a cop. Aim for the helicopter. But sadly, it's the end for the Prius.
Oh,
the Prius,
no.
R.I.P., one of the best cars in the biz, in the movie biz. So they managed to get Ershon to the transfer to stop it, but Roger Wesley makes it there to make sure the transfer goes through. They try to get the upper hand, but
shoots them all.
Yeah, because he's like, Hoyt's is like 3, 2, 1, and dismantles everybody, and then Gamble's like, how was I supposed to know that's what that meant?
Ershon's like, I knew what he meant.
I knew what he meant. They have Ershon. It's like, you can't shoot him now. And then they just shoots all three of them. It's like, I can still use him wounded.
Yeah.
And then he's about to force the transfer to go through, but the captain and the rest of the police force show up to save him. Yay, Gamble. And then Gamble looks like the captain goes to Gamble and it looks like he's dying. It's like, you're going to be okay. He passes out. He's dying.
I'm just resting.
It's so funny. It's just the face Michael Keaton makes whenever he thinks he's dying. He's dying. And the captain is proud of him.
Oh,
good thing, because he doesn't accept no scrubs.
He does.
So Ershon is arrested and taken into custody. It's revealed that he is using his time in prison to make investments and further his shading accounting practices, because now he's using cigarettes. Hoyt and Gamble are held as heroes for their ability to bring Ershon to justice. Thankfully, Gamble's smartphone app was able to nail most of the criminals involved in the transfer because of Backface.
Yeah. What was the app in It's Always Sunny, but the new season of Arrested Development that came out with a different director. The son.
Face Blur. Wasn't it Face Blur?
I thought, no, it was Face Block.
Face Block, yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
He started with a block, the instrument app, and then it turned into something else.
And then it ended up not being anything for real.
Or Face Back.
Face Back, something like that.
It was like the same app.
Yeah, it was like either you see their face and then the app shows you the back of their head, or the back of their head shows you the face. Either
Why would you want that?
Whatever this one was is the opposite of it.
Yeah.
It has to be a joke. Hoyt manages to marry his girlfriend and wanted Sheila to be his best man, but she declines for very obvious reasons. And I love that Gamble's not even a best man.
Yeah.
He's still out there.
Yeah.
So their next case, they find out, involves the biggest shady investment firm in the world, Goldman Sachs.
Damn.
And where Gamble once again manages to attract another hot woman. While leaving, Hoyt very badly wants to know what Gamble's secret is, and Gamble reveals who he lost his virginity to, none other than supermodel Heather Locklear. The film ends with a monologue from the narrator, Ice-T, about how every police department is the same. You have your star officers, you have your 9-to-5 officers, and there's these guys.
The other guys.
And
then the peacock flying.
Yeah. And during the credits, we were shown a slideshow presentation set to the tune of CeeLo Green's Pimps Don't Cry about billionaires, income inequality, stock swindlers, and Bernie Madoff. And then there's
all the people who got government funds when the market crashed.
And got
They got
bailed out.
bailouts.
Yep.
And yeah, maybe this actually happened.
Yeah, right. It's like, is this real?
It would be so easy for all of this to happen.
Yeah.
And it probably did. And it goes into like the CEO salary versus like the lowest employee. It's like, I like that illustration.
It has like the chart, the graph.
The elevators like going way, way up.
Yeah.
Oh God, that made me so mad.
I know. It's like, it like fits and doesn't fit at the same time, because it's like, fuck, dude, we were trying to have a fun movie here, and then all of a sudden you're just gonna
hit us with this knowledge,
blast me with all these fucking rich people that have nothing bad ever happens to them.
Nope. And and at the end of the movie, the lady who was in charge of Lindell Global, she got off scot-free.
Yeah,
completely.
Yeah. Everything was A-okay because of a bailout.
Yeah.
And then we get a in-credit scene where Wahlberg tells a joke that doesn't land, but then we realize it's just a blooper.
Oh yeah, that was the bloopers were kind of funny. Well, like when there's one where they're in the Chinese restaurant and he's like shin shin, like saying thank you.
I didn't see the bloopers.
Oh, maybe I saw it on something else, but I thought it was on this movie.
Yeah, I mean it might be.
I don't know.
I own the movie. I don't know why I didn't watch the DVD and watch the bloopers. I'll do that after.
But like Mark Wahlberg cracks up when he's speaking Chinese.
Yeah. Oh God. It's probably definitely this then. It's either that or Ted. So that's the end of the other guys. We're gonna hit our first of two categories: the good, the bad, the fine. The good, the bad, the ugly, the fine. It's where we talk about the good of the film, something we liked; the bad, something we didn't; the ugly, something that didn't age well; the fine, something that did age well.
Dun, dun, dun.
What do you got for the good?
The good? I don't know. These two actors together, it just worked really well.
Yeah,
they're hilarious.
That's what mine is. Mine was
and they
the Will and Mark, and how much chemistry they had together, and how they're both equally very funny. The whole cast, honestly. Even the side characters, they're all great.
Yeah, there's so many great actors.
Yeah.
Just cameos and all kinds of stuff that were incredible.
That's what I like about Adam McKay's movies. They always have so many funny people in them. Even like when they get more serious, like towards his like last three movies, like it's filled with comedic actors doing like kind of being serious. But if you
still find a way to make it.
If you have a comedic actor, there'll still be a way of it being kind of funny.
You kind of just think it's funny because you know who they are.
Yeah, and like I don't know, I feel like comedic actors are also really good actors, and we just don't give them credit for it because they're always just in comedies, and we don't respect comedies like we respect dramas and other things.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you got for the bad?
For the bad, that they introduced. Partly good is that they introduced Dirty Mike and the Boys, which I think is one of the most influential things that has ever been made.
Yeah.
But bad because everyone named Mike now is called Dirty Mike.
Dirty Mike. I don't see how that's a bad thing.
I don't either.
If my name is Mike, please call me Dirty Mike.
You got to change your name to Michael. Why should I change my name? He's the one who sucks.
Yeah. Mine, the bad, it's classic Jesse move. It's like an hour and 50 minutes long. Let's bump it down to an hour and 40. That's all I gotta say. No, really, I don't really have anything bad about the movie. I love this movie, so I don't have anything bad about it. The only thing I can come up with is, comedy should be around an hour 40.
Well, I will say that maybe for the ugly as well, that asking my spouse to watch this with me, she's like, oh, Mark Wahlberg is so problematic right now. And that sucks for sure. And like the way they talk about women sucks.
Yeah.
But it's funny. It really is. And it's a joke.
It's also a play off of cop movies and stuff like buddy cop movies, which a lot of this stuff is very.
But I feel like that kind of makes it okay.
Yeah. I mean, if it's kind of if it's being a parody, you're parodying
of course.
Stuff. Like the classic, like with Will Ferrell's character and
I thought you were going to say Gandalf.
No, I almost did. That's why I decided to say Will Ferrell. But like the whole, the cop has like a wife that like he doesn't respect and love.
Right.
And it's like
she's super smoking hot.
Yeah. And like every movie, like the cops is like always got like a perfect wife. And it's just like, treat her with respect. It's like done to the most like obscene level here.
Yeah, of course.
For my ugly, I put way too many people, like people's view on Adam McKay now because he keeps getting nominated for Oscars. People would love his movies probably if they weren't nominated for Oscars. So we should
I think so
chill
too.
out. Yeah, but I do kind of wish he'd go back to like a movie like this where it's just like really silly and it's not like super about politics and money and corruption, even though I do love it.
It was all about money and corruption, but like
in the funnest way.
Yeah, I really like how he kind of turned the buddy cop drama like on its head.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah, it's great.
It's so funny.
That's what I love.
Yeah,
that's kind of what my fun is. Turning like Adam McKay and his ability to like take stories like that and just like make them so funny.
Yeah,
he's such a good comedic director.
Yeah, you expose all the bullshit, but you kind of make it. You add these two like adorable, funny actors, and it just kind of makes it work. I don't know. Yeah, it's fun.
All right, so we're gonna hit our next category: double feature. It's where we recommend a movie alongside this movie. What do you got?
Well, just like anytime I see a Wans person, you think of Major Payne.
Yes, chugga chugga, choo choo.
A little engine that could.
Yes,
I can't feel my legs.
So
you ain't got no legs.
I gotta rewatch that. I wonder if it's so funny. It's gotta be, right?
It certainly is hilarious. Although it is different watching it after being in the military than before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just like, ugh, I'd actually hate this guy.
All those kids are doing push-ups wrong.
Yeah. Oh, I hate kids doing wrong push-ups. Yeah. I chose the film The Big Short, the next movie by Adam McKay. It's so good and heartbreaking and makes you hate life. And it's another movie filled with comedic actors. But the leads, or like the main build actors, are Christian Bale.
Nice.
Steve Carell.
Fuck.
Ryan Gosling.
Hell yeah, man.
Brad Pitt.
Dang.
That's the top four.
Stop. My boner can only get so hard.
Yeah, dude. Damn, talk about some beautiful ass people. But in 2006 and 2007, a group of investors bet against the United States mortgage market. In their research, they discover how flawed and corrupt the market is.
What was that movie with I have to cut all this. Who's
leaving it?
No,
people are gonna.
The guy who's Dr. Dolittle is an old movie with.
I don't know who's in the original one.
No, not the original one. The black
Eddie
comedian.
Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. He's like the stockbrokers get him. They switch him and another rich
Trading
guy.
Places.
Trading Places.
Mm-hmm.
God, that was such a good.
That's
movie.
Dan Aykroyd, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd.
I've never seen it, but I know everybody in it in the plot.
God damn, that took forever to get that out.
Yeah, but you nailed it. So make sure to check out.
That's a cool one too.
Make sure to check out those two films. But most importantly, come back here next week where you will hear us discussing Toy Story, baby. We're just having fun at the beginning of this year.
It's going to get raunchy.
Yeah.
With Toy Story.
Oh, you've never heard a dirtier podcast about Toy Story than what you're going to hear next week. We're going to dive hard into what happens under Sid's bed with those toys.
Those are some fucked up toys, man.
Hey, I mean, you got the one with like the legs.
The spider with the baby head?
I don't even want to know what goes under there.
I like it. I like it. I like this kid.
So join us next week for
probably like
that.
An engineer now.
Time to relive our childhood with Toy Story. I relived my teenage years with the other guys. Time to live my childhood now. So join us for that. And go, if you want to send us some fan mail, you can click the link in the description at the top. Or go to the bottom of the description, and then you can send us an email at werecommendmailbag@gmail.com. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow and, rate us and review us. Tell us how good we are. 5 stars only, please.
Send us your blood.
Yes. And I'd like to thank Joey Prosser for our intro and outro music. You can find him on X at Mr. Joey Prosser. And this has been the We Recommend Podcast.
Now with shirts.
Yeah. I've been Jesse.
I've been Jason.
Podcast for excess. It's the American way.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.